It was like whoosh, whoosh. We opened the door, tried to open the door, the door just slammed on me. There was like a whole bunch of dust from like all the debris that was being blown around. Yeah. And then like these trees came down. The tree in the back of this building, it hit the ceiling, and the brick started collapsing in. So the people on this side of the building have to move out. In my house, there's tiles that are like they're gone. Like they fell on the floor and they're pretty much destroyed. There's like 4 or 5 of them inside.
Yo, your building is gone.
Where? What?
Right here. It's gone. My friend's building is gone. Right here. The whole building took the whole. They took the whole building. Your building is gone. The porch is gone. The top roof is gone. Everything is gone. Your windows are all broken. It's gone.
It is amazing that everything is gone. And Heather was talking a little while ago about the indiscriminate nature of destruction. On one side of the street, you could have something significantly damaged, and on the other side, virtually right next to it, you have no damage. Look at these 2 cars. The only thing wrong with this car is it's lost its taillight. Now look at the car right next to it. The car right next to it has obviously lost the back window. Go around the other side, Robert. You can actually look at the door. The door is crooked. So this car has been, I'm not an auto expert, but this car has been totaled. It's right next to the other car, which had the cracked tail light. That's all it had. And then as you walk, everywhere you walk, you see something. This is a pillar. This pillar was in front of the house. The house, by the way, before we show you where the pillar was, look at the top. I don't know if you can see it because it's late at night. Can you see the crack up there? Look at the very peak. The building is cracked, and then if you follow screen right down, you can see the separation that you have, at least of the molding, so you can see what's happening to the building itself. But that pillar that we were talking about, what is that? Is that 15, 20 feet tall? That pillar is supposed to be part of the Young house. And you see that cement stanchion right there? That's where that pillar was. And now it's 25, 30 feet away. But just look above the pillar. The balcony, gone. The side, gone. The roof, gone. The section of the roof, gone. Completely cut out. You can see there was a decorative finish and there was a completion of the roof. That is absolutely gone. Again, this is the Young house in the McDuffie School. And what took out all of that roof? Well, here's what took out all the roof, is this tree. This is the tree that fell through, and as the tree fell through, you can see where it scraped the roof and just pulled the pieces of the roof out. And to show you how big that tree is, this tree was just uprooted this morning. The amazing thing is, the security guard just told me this morning, this tree was here, standing here majestically, and now look at the size of the root ball in this tree, and look how deep that hole is. That thing has just been completely yanked out of the ground. And then one last perspective. We are up on a hill here at the McDuffie School, and if you look right over there, you can see the skyline of Springfield. And Liz and Heather, I hesitate to tell you, it's a beautiful night. It's calm, it's quiet, the temperature is pleasant, but yet for, what, 6, 7, 8 hours, the destruction that went through here is just amazing.
Hey, Ed, how widespread is the destruction in that area? I mean, clearly the McDuffie School took a hit in and around it, but does it extend 300 yards? Do you have any idea?
I'm actually trying. Can you, Robert? How much more cable do we have? Can you get on the other side of this tree? Is that possible? So we can kind of show the. I don't know if we can get over the tree, Heather. I honestly, we haven't tried this, but we're going to try it.
Well,
we're going
don't
to go right
hurt
over the
yourself.
tree.
We need you, Ed. Please be careful.
You know me. You know me. Don't worry about it. If you just look at the side of the street, you can see where trees have fallen. And I don't know if you can see it. Look down. Remember that big tree? You see how the traffic's coming through slowly there, Heather? And then you can see the headlights back off in the distance. There's one lane of traffic getting through. And the reason for that is there was a massive tree that had fallen across. So that obviously prevented it. What they did was they came in and they just cut out one section of the tree, removed that one section, and that allows that one lane to go through. But on this side of the street where you see maybe 3 or 4 blocks of damage, on the other side of the street, you just have a little debris. So it is just here you have destruction. 40 feet from here, you don't have destruction. Like one guy was telling me, Heather, he was sitting in his house today. It got a little rainy, got a little windy. It wasn't a big deal. It is a big deal.
And then you had 60 kids in that school. Are these high school kids? Are they elementary kids? Who are these kids that were in that storm shelter down below riding this out?
They're 9th through 12th graders. They were in there, and I saw mostly young ladies. I don't know if they were, you know, if it's a co-ed school. I'm honestly not quite sure, but I saw mostly young ladies. They were 9th through 12th graders. I saw 40 of them, 30 of them, 40 of them get on the bus and leave, and we tried to talk with them, and they were uncomfortable. They didn't know what they were. They were just happy that what they went through was over, and they were with their parents. Many of them were with their parents. Many of them were carrying instruments. So you wonder if they were, you know, entertaining themselves as they were in that shelter for a good 3 or 4 hours. With the headmaster we talked to was actually talking to us about the news of the event, because obviously he was isolated. He didn't have much information, so he wanted to know what was going on.
Down into that basement, because looking at that damage, there could have been a much different outcome there, Eddie.
And he was calm, Heather. He was calm. And yes, the kids were shaken, and you can understand the kids being shaken, but he was calm. The guidance seemed to be calm. They just dealt with they had a procedure. They followed procedure, and these kids tonight are in a hotel, and they're safe. They're with their parents, and no one got hurt up here. These buildings can be rebuilt. They're lovely buildings, but they can be rebuilt.
And some of them must be so old too, Ed. I mean, that's a historic town, you know. I can't even imagine. And the trees too. They were probably over 100 years old.
Lizzie, well, they have to be, which is why I wanted. One of these things we wanted to show you was how many rings in the tree. But look at the detail work on this building. You're absolutely right. I mean, the cornices, the corners, the details around the windows. These are very elegantly constructed buildings that they're going to have to be somehow rebuilt, repaired. I'm not sure structural integrity. I'm not sure of any of that. But we showed you a crack, so obviously they have many areas they're going to have to look at.
A crack and a column down to boot, Ed. Yeah, daylight's going to reveal a lot more.
Column way down, yeah.
All right, Ed, we'll be checking back here in a little bit. And before we go to Mary Saladin, I just want to let you know, obviously the governor has said in many of those communities school is going to be closed tomorrow, but he has also said that now non-emergency state employees that are in those impacted counties do not have to report to work tomorrow. So we're talking about Hamden, Hampshire, Franklin, and Worcester counties. The governor's saying stay home if you're a non-essential personnel, non-emergency personnel. They're going to need everybody else who is, you know, a person of importance to be there, and everybody else is going to be needing to be home taking care of everything. So that's from the governor.
And it's worth reminding you that the governor has activated the 211. If you need to get some information, you can pick up the phone and call 211. Obviously, if it's a dire emergency and you need help, call 911.
Let's get out to News Center 5's Mary Saladin, who is now in Monson. And Mary, you've been a bit of a storm chaser today. You've been in many different communities, from Palmer to Sturbridge to Brimfield and now to Monson. What's going on?
Well, you know, before I show you some incredible video that we caught in Sturbridge, I just want to take one more look at this church here in Monson, the First Church of Monson. Look, the wind blew the doors wide open. Thank heavens there was no one inside. We shine a light in there. You can see all the ceiling tiles and the insulation that just, you know, rained down on the interior of the church. And take a look over here. I know Jorge gave you a bit of a look, but take a good look. This is the steeple. This is the steeple lying in a pile of wood and insulation and ruins. It should be up there. If we spin up that way, you can see how it took everything off the building. It's right down to the bare wood there. Of course, it blew out windows. These stained windows are intact, thank goodness. But, you know, this is just the type of damage that you're seeing everywhere, from Sturbridge to Brimfield to here in Monson. Take a look at what we went through and see. It wasn't the first hit. It was the second round of storm cell. We were on Route 20 that paralleled the pike there. The damage. When state came by and said, turn around, look behind you, get out of the way. We had a touchdown in Palmer. It's headed this right there. So this is